Good day. Welcome to First Take exclusively on YouTube. That is Stephen A. Smith, Christopher Mad Dog Russo. I'm Molly Qerim, and let's get to it. The Nova Knicks are in full swing. New York made headlines late last night, making a trade with the Nets to acquire Mikal Bridges, reuniting him with his former Villanova teammates Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo. The Knicks are hoping Bridges is the missing piece for their team that finished with 50 wins but was ousted in the second round of the playoffs. Obviously, a lot of that due to injuries. To make this trade happen, New York is handing over picks, according to Woj Bogdanovic, 4 unprotected first-round picks, a 2025 protected first-rounder, that's via the Bucks, a 2028 unprotected pick swap, and a 2025 second-rounder for Bridges. Stephen A., after this trade, how important is it for the Knicks to re-sign OG Anunoby?
I think it's pivotal. I think that OG Anunoby, when he was on the basketball court this year, regular season, including the playoffs, they were 26-6. Off the court, they were like 14-17. He helps them win. He fits really, really well into Tom Thibodeau's system. Obviously, he's a defensive stalwart. We know that he could defend 4 different positions. The New York Knicks transitioned from being 20th in defensive deficiency to number 2 in the entire league with him on the basketball court. So I think that goes a very, very long way. I don't think anybody can ignore that. And I'm of the mindset that, you know what, hey, it is what it is. You know, they've got him. If they keep him and they've got Mikal Bridges, I think the New York Knicks would be the #1 defensive team in the NBA next season. I think that's how good they would be defensively, and that's not something that we can ignore.
Have to keep him. Steve's 100% right. If he had played in the concluding series with Indiana, they probably would have won. He got hurt in Game 2. They had a 2-0 lead. He gave it a go in Game 7. He's one of those guys who doesn't have to have the ball to be effective. He can make it 3, as you see right there. This is an imperative move for the Knicks. He cannot leave. They have to sign him. Steve's 1,000% correct. He fits the system. He doesn't mind being coached, and he plays good defense. Have to sign him.
Yeah, going from, as Stephen A. mentioned, 20th in defensive efficiency to 3rd, that's pretty darn impressive. Let's keep rolling, guys. Go to L.A. So after failing to entice Dan Hurley away from UConn, the Lakers finally found their new head coach in J.J. Redick. The first time head coach was introduced to the media this week and insisted the Lakers' championship aspirations were reasonable for the team. Meanwhile, the Cavs, they're preparing to hand over the reins to Kenny Atkinson. Unlike Redick, Atkinson has head coaching experience. He coached the Nets to a 118 and 190 record. That's from 2016 to 2020. He's now taken over a team that's lost in the second round of the playoffs to the eventual champion Celtics. S.A., I'm coming to you first on this one. Who do you think will have a bigger immediate impact on their new team? Would you go J.J. Redick or Kenny Atkinson?
I think it's going to be J.J. Redick. Because he's got LeBron James and Anthony Davis with him. Not to take anything away from Donovan Mitchell, who I believe is a star in this league, but in the same breath, I'm just of the mindset that when you have a basketball savant like LeBron James, very, very experienced, entering his 21st or 22nd season in the National Basketball Association, and you have a premier big man in Anthony Davis, there's a lot to work with in that regard. I don't think it can be ignored. Not to say that Atkinson won't do a good job. He'll have Mobley there. He'll have Jared Allen there, Donovan Mitchell there, Darius Garland there, and he'll be coaching in an Eastern Conference that's certainly not nearly as tough as the Western Conference in terms of parity. But nevertheless, I just think that when you look at the Lakers and what they bring to the table, they're fresh off of 47 wins last season. I think that J.J. Redick knows how to key in on some of those other ancillary parts, some of the other guys, to elevate their level of play, to improve their contribution to the Big Two. And in the end, the Big Two in LeBron and Anthony Davis outweighs the Big One in Donovan Mitchell. And that's why I'm going with J.J. Redick with this particular question.
Fair. I can understand that. I think J.J. will do a good job, but the Lakers are a first-round playoff team. Mobley can get better. They didn't have Allen and Mitchell at the tail end of that Celtics series. Atkinson got unceremoniously fired from the Nets. I blame that on Kyrie, Durant, and the GM. He went to Golden State. He learns under the wing of the great Steve Kerr. He was very picky of what job he was going to take. He could have had a job long before this. He goes to Cleveland. It's a good market. It's a good franchise, good fan base. I don't know if that's going to convince, obviously, Mitchell to sign after next year. You got a good front office there. I know Bickerstaff, you can make an argument, got a raw deal. That's fair. But I think Atkinson, who's very good at player development, I think he's going to do a heck of a job there. I really do, and I'm glad to see him get an opportunity. Another one after he got fired unceremoniously the first time. I'll say Atkinson better for Cleveland and Redick, J.J. our pal, for the Lakers.
All right. I mean, to be determined. We shall see. We'll be revisiting this conversation.
A lot.
Quite a lot, especially regarding the Lakers. Guys, I want to go to America's pastime now. We haven't talked baseball. The Subway Series got underway last night. The Yankees came up small under the bright lights of Flushing. Garrett Cole got rocked in his second start back from injury, giving up 4 homers and 6 runs in only 4 innings. This only continued the trend of the Yankees' struggles lately. They've lost 4 of the past 5 series and are 3-7 in their last 10 games after a pretty hot start. Mad Dog, what's your level of concern for the Yanks right now?
Well, the number one is injuries. Not having Stanton is a major problem. He's not going to play for a month. Number 2 is the bottom of their lineup. LeMahieu doesn't hit. Torres has had a terrible year and obviously broken arm for Rizzo. The catcher doesn't hit either. So their lineup from 5 on after Judge, Soto, and a little Verdugo is terrible. Cole, I'm not worried about. Cole hasn't been able to, pitch. You got to give him a chance. They will pitch pretty well. But I'd be a little worried about the Yankee offense. It's a little too Soto, Judge oriented. So I would be concerned. And they have not played well against good teams. The Orioles beat them in 2 series. The Braves beat them in a series. The Red Sox beat them in a series. And the Dodgers beat them in a series. So there, you can argue that their 5 most significant series this year, they've lost every single one of them. I'm concerned with that, too.
I don't disagree with a single word you uttered, Doggy. You know how diehard of a Yankee fan I am, but I agree with you. They're a bit too lenient, or rather too dependent on Judge, Soto. I get all of that. Stanton as well. I'm not going to trust. I don't give a damn what we see from Stanton this year. I'm not going to trust him in the postseason until I see him do it. Obviously, I believe in Judge. Obviously, I believe in Soto, but I also have questions about their pitching. I'm going to give Cole a break. I know he just got back, but still, damn, giving up 4 home runs, getting smacked around like that. I was wondering why Boone kept him in the damn game for as long as he did, to be quite honest with you. I look at it from that standpoint, the bottom half of their lineup. I'm wondering about that. That's certainly a concern as well. And the Baltimore Orioles look really strong. Plus, they're younger and more vibrant to some degree. So I pay attention to that as well. I'm very, very concerned, Doggy. No doubt.
I can see it.
All right. That's it.
That's it.
We're done on that.
We are finished on that?
We're done.
Okay.
We're finished. All right.
Yes, we are.
Big group hug. Bye, everybody.
I love you.
Love you.
Bye, Stevie.
Love you. Bye, Steve. I'm watching you tonight. Thanks for watching First Take exclusively for YouTube. Make sure to tune in weekdays on ESPN 10 a.m. Eastern. We will see you tomorrow. Enjoy the draft.